Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for this edition of the 2014 Campaign Roundtable Series. I'm politics reporter Robert-rizzuto, and we are here debating the highly contentious casino gaming topic in Massachusetts. I'm here with MGM Springfield President Mike-Mathis, and to his left, Alan Cabot of Repeal-the-Casino-Deal. Gentlemen, again, thank you very much for participating today.
Thank you.
Next topic here, I want to talk about the repeal itself. So this coming Tuesday, voters will get the chance to vote on whether we keep this gaming law or not. Mike, we've had several statewide candidates say that if the repeal passes, they would look for a legislative solution to allow the MGM Springfield project to go forward. But let's say the casino law is repealed next Tuesday. Would that shake the company's resolve in wanting to build a casino in Springfield?
Yeah, I've been really gratified to hear the comments that have been made by different candidates, particularly when they come and visit the site. Remember, this is the site, our project site is where the June 2011 tornado touched down, and it took a really struggling piece of property and really obliterated it. There's a couple of buildings that are open, but there are really a lot of dilapidated buildings out there. So when we found this site, we thought it was a perfect combination of the policy goals of the legislation, which is economic development in places that needed it. When Charlie Baker walked the site, when Martha Coakley's come out to see the site, when others have come out to see the site and they've seen our design, they recognize the power of what we're trying to do here. That said, really flattered that they would consider bringing a special piece of legislation that might allow for this project if the yes question passes. We don't think that's appropriate. We want to see, we would certainly consider that because we have a commitment to Springfield that we want to live up to, but there are people in Plainville that voted for this. There are people in Everett that want $30 million to clean up their site. And this is not just about Springfield. The Gaming Act, which is what's under discussion, was really progressive. They went out and did a comprehensive study over 2 legislative sessions, incidentally, and made sure that they understood what worked and what didn't work in the other gaming jurisdictions. And what they decided was that you needed limited licenses, 3 licenses in this case, potentially a 4th. You need them geographically diverse so you don't run into the saturation problems that I think we're going to talk about in a bit. And you need local approval, local vote, so that the benefits stay within the community. They'll get some of the adverse impacts, which is traffic, potentially crime based on visitor volumes, and that happens. But they want to make sure that they had high tax revenue, high local employment in terms of the benefits, and all that's happened. If you look at the 11 communities that have looked at this issue, 6 have said yes, 5 have said no, and that's the way it should work because it's not right for everybody.
Okay, so Al, if we're talking what-if scenarios here, let's say next week the law is upheld on Tuesday. What comes next for you guys? Is that the end of it, or are there other? I'm sure you guys are looking forward with the potential for different possibilities. What if then?
I would be thrilled if Mr. Mathis here would say, gee, if Western Massachusetts, which he said this casino is for in Springfield, if Western Massachusetts voted against it, that he would respect that, even if the state went the other way. I don't expect him to do that, however. What else is going forward?
But if you're talking about the local vote, I guess, in July 2013, the Springfield voters did approve the MGM project. So if we're talking local trumping statewide vote, isn't that as local as it gets?
The law was written basically by the gambling industry to give them 351 chances to find some place to put a casino. It wasn't designed to be fair to all the people that are going to be addicted by the gambling.
But Al, my question was, if the law is upheld next Tuesday, what if? What does the repeal movement do then? Are there other avenues here?
I'm going to work until Tuesday to make sure that we're protecting our communities, our people, preventing the crime, preventing the increase in alcohol-related problems. In fact, they can serve alcohol between 8 in the morning and 2 a.m. the next morning. Not only do statistics show that DUIs in the neighborhood of the casino will go up, but it also shows that the restaurant owner, the day that they serve a free drink down the street, is going to say, gee, I want to be able to have happy hour come back. Something that the people of Massachusetts in 1984 said it was something we didn't want. And since that time, DUIs and deaths on our highway have gone down. It's difficult for them to pass a law that allows somebody to give away free drinks.
We're not here to debate happy hour.
I believe deaths on our highway are something we should talk about, Rob.
Rob, you've attempted to keep us on topic, so I don't blame you for the fact that Al's insisting on talking about everything other than the Gaming Act and our project. We want to bring Mass Mutual Center back to its glory days, right, where it was a must stop. Now, with that comes.
This leads me to my next question.
But my point is, though, is that economic activity has with it certain adverse impacts. With tourism, with increased commercial activity, there's always adverse impacts, and we need to address those. And I wish we were talking about how we're going to address those. We're going to be really socially responsible when it comes to the service of alcohol. We train our employees, for example, intensively to make sure that we understand when a customer needs to be cut off, and those are really important issues that we deal with every day in Las Vegas. We have 40 million customers come through the entertainment capital of the world, and we manage that very well. But to suggest that to throw out words like DUI and protecting our highways really is trying to, as a scare tactic, to distract from the key issue, which is this proposal and what we're trying to do here in Springfield.
And I'm not disputing
there are two sides to this.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I am trying to present those negative aspects that everybody's ignored that come along with casino gambling. You have to ask yourself, Mr. Mathis is trying to present the positive. He believes that things are going to get better in the region, tourism, et cetera. I want to step back and ask the question, if you have gone to the casino and you have spent $450 million gambling, are you more likely or less likely to have money in your pocket to go to all the other tourist attractions in the area? I'll tell you, the people I'm talking to in the Berkshires are afraid of this. Of course it's going to hurt the tourism at Tanglewood, at Mass Mocha, at all of the inns and locations west of here. If you take that much economic activity out of the Pioneer Valley and the surrounding region, it's going to hurt the economy, not help it. This is our argument. Our argument is that they're trying to flip economics on its head. And that's not true. More jobs are lost. Like I started to say at one point, and that's my job, to present the negative aspects. If you only want to hear the other side of it, I can't help you.
Hey, Rob,
That's not what I meant it for, but I do appreciate the insult.
There's important data. There's important data here. The Berks, again, objective, because he's making his pitch, I'm making my pitch,
Exactly.
and we hope that the voters will make their decision based on the facts. The Berkshire Chamber of Commerce, the Berkshire Tourism Bureau endorsed us. So there's some
there's something to be said of that. You've reached out to these other businesses.
Of course we have.
This is part of their project.
I don't know. My point is, I don't know the
this.
individual that Al spoke to in the Berkshires that's worried about us coming here. I wasn't in that conversation if that conversation took place. But the point is, those tourism bureaus and those business chambers have endorsed us. The Springfield Chamber has endorsed us. The Boston Chamber has endorsed us. Tourism and local businesses are behind us. The ones that you can objectively demonstrate, because they know what we know, which is when you bring tourism to a market, the tide rises for all. And that's an important part of our business plan. And I also point out the Fort, which is an institution in this area, the Student Prince, closed down. Businesses are closing down before we're coming because there is economic stagnation going on in Springfield. We want to bring people to Springfield. We want there to be traffic on Springfield, as does the Chief Economic Officer for Springfield. And that's what this is about. This is about economic development. Let's not get distracted from that.
We are getting close to the end of our time.
Economic development, could I respond to
what I'd like you to do is tell the voters, we're getting to the end here. They're calling for me to wrap, so we're getting tight. Al, I'd like you to give your pitch to the voters. Why should they be voting yes this coming Tuesday to repeal the casino law?
A few individuals will get rich. Right now, the sharks are circling, and they're trying to divide up the money that's out there between the casinos. This has nothing to do with bringing anything back to Massachusetts. This has everything to do with putting money in the corporate bank accounts of a very few individuals, those who may be selling real estate, and a few leaders who are going to share in those profits in one way or the other. The Chamber of Commerce wouldn't let its 800 members vote on whether or not. They decided just upon their leadership. That was from my discussion with Jeff. A casino is going to increase crime. It's going to increase alcohol problems and drunk driving on our roads. It's going to increase domestic violence. It is not an economic cure in any way at all. More jobs will be lost in the greater Pioneer Valley than they say they're going to create. And they can't turn economics upside down on their head. If there were a dozen cities across the United States that they could point to where long-term economic development had occurred as a result of casinos, They'd be telling us about there, but they don't tell us about those stories. In 300 metropolitan cities across the United States, it hasn't helped. In order to keep Massachusetts casino free and have a stronger community, in order to keep Massachusetts casino free and have a stronger economy, in order to keep Massachusetts casino free and have a stronger Massachusetts, vote yes on 3. Thank you.
Thank you. So Al thinks the promises have been oversold. He encourages a yes vote. Mike?
So Rob, in my limited time, let me give you 2 examples, and I encourage the viewers to go Google this and go study these. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania opened up a casino back in, I think, 2003, 2004. The mayor of that city in 2010 is quoted as saying, "We opened 100 new businesses last year and are on pace to do the same. Crime is down 18% since the casino opened." That's just one example. Bangor, Maine, here's a quote: "Crime, prostitution, drugs, that's all we heard about." This comes from a local shop owner. But let me just finish, please, Al.
Yes.
But to be honest, that hasn't happened, at least not here in Bangor. He added that he's hired 10 workers and boosting employment to 55 people for his business. That is fact. Go research it. There's other examples. There's also bad examples. And what I'll say is I think you need to look at our actual proposal. Don't rely on the good examples. Don't rely on the bad examples. But there is a way to do it well, and we think we're going to do it well. The reason to support a no on 3 is because Springfield has the opportunity to return to its glory, and not just because of us, but because of the catalytic impact that we're going to have. 3,000 jobs are important jobs, and we have various entry-level positions. So it's also for the people that are working on their GEDs or the people that have college degrees and come in at a higher level. We're going to be spending $800 million in this area, and that's construction work, and construction jobs are going to go to Massachusetts families. And lastly, we're going to be spending $50 million a year locally for vendors and suppliers. We're going to create a new important, diverse business that'll help this economy. We've seen what 25 years of a no casino can do. We like a chance. We think we have an opportunity to do something special here.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much
Thanks,
for
Al.
taking the time to be with us
Thank you very
today.
much.
We really
Thanks, Rob.
appreciate it. Certainly.
Thank you, too.
Thank you very much. And thank you to our panel of journalists, Ron Chmelis and Rob Janess. Thank you guys very much. And last but certainly not least, thank you to the viewer, to the reader, to the person watching this online or on TV. We appreciate you taking the time to hear from both these men as they explain their very heartfelt positions on this very important topic. Now, ballot question number 3, casino gaming. If you vote yes this coming Tuesday, it will repeal the casino law. If you vote no, it will maintain it. It's a little confusing, so pay attention to the nuance. And more importantly than which way you come down on the issue is that you take time this coming Tuesday to go out and vote. It's a right that shouldn't be oversold or understated. It's very important. Take the time, no matter which way you're going to vote, get out and vote. And thank you very much for joining us.
This forum will be available online at CBS3Springfield.com, MassLive.com, and full coverage in the Republican newspaper and on New England Public Radio. Thanks for watching.